All right, everybody, what is going on? It has been a few days since I've done a video here. Maybe I just missed yesterday. I don't know. It's the days are all running together. So here we go. We're hopping into a video. Obviously, this is a calc video. You guys have already seen it. That's why you're here. I put it on the thumbnail clearly, so that's what you're interested in. They are already up on Twitter if you're ever curious and just want to see these before, without ever actually having to watch the video. They are on Twitter, so you can go check them out there if you want explanations, and that's why you're here. That's what we're hopping into next. So this is when the characters are dropping. It seems like it's going to be at a pretty decent time tomorrow, so that's pretty good. It's going to be roughly 20... maybe 25, 26 hours from whenever this video goes up. I'm currently recording this at 7:09 p.m. So that's, you guys can tell, right? Obviously, you could do the math on that, but this should go up by at least 8, maybe a little bit sooner, so maybe like 7:30, so... Anyway, point being, if you guys want to see this for yourself, just go to cards, go to schedule, Dokkan info, link in the description, and then you guys can see the countdown for yourself. As soon as the data download hits, you don't have to ask anybody, hey, when are the characters dropping? As soon as that data download hits, you come to this website and boom, you can see it. Alright, so let's go into Broly first. I calced him first. He's the more interesting, well, I don't know if he's more interesting, but I like villains, so we're starting with Broly. I'm not going to do a full breakdown here, let's just go into it. You guys have probably already seen it all at this point, so, the things Broly is doing, so he's getting, he's giving extreme class allies 40% defense for 4 turns, that includes himself. He gets 260% at the start of turn baseline, so for 4 turns from his first appearance, he's going to have 300% defense and 60% damage reduction, which is pretty good. He's got some, like, healing in here, which is nice. He does create a domain. Super effective against all types after attacking while the domain is up. Let's see. He's got a revival in here. After you revive, you get 60% defense when receiving an attack. So that's pretty good. And then down here, after you revive as well, you get 60% attack and defense at the start of turn. Uncontrollable power category allies and yourself. So those are the main things going into his kit. So again, 40% defense for 4 turns, 260% baseline, so that's going to be 300% for 4 turns. After that, you do lose the 40%, but you gain the revive. After you revive, you go up to 60% for uncontrollable power specifically, which means you're going to be at 320% at the start of turn. And then you get 60% when receiving an attack. So, all that's pretty good. Right up here, he's got his super attack effect. So on his 18 key, he gets 100% attack and defense. He has a 50% chance to get 100% more attack, which is crazy, and then a 70% chance to stun. Right here on his super attack effect, again, 100% attack and defense for his 12 key, and then he has a 50% chance of getting an additional 30% defense. So technically, if you wanted to get the most out of his defense, you'd be going for his 12 keys. But I mean, you're gambling on a 30% chance or a 50% chance of a little bit of extra defense, which isn't going to be super impactful. So, overall, I'd say Broly's going to be great while his domain is up, and then after that, he's just going to kind of be a nice slot 2 support unit after that. So, I think he'll be good in game. He's going to be a nice addition to the Broly team. I don't think he himself, you're going to want to run 2 of him, which is kind of odd. I would say if you're going to be running the Broly team, you're still going to be wanting to run double Tech Broly, the Carnival LR, and just run a movie bosses setup. I think that's going to be the play. So if you're curious, I would say probably the best movie bosses setup right now is going to be double Tech Broly. Well, let's just do like the main 6, so we won't consider the friends. So it's going to be the Carnival LR Broly. Then it's going to be this Broly right here. Then it's probably going to be like the EZA LR Tech Broly. After that, AGL Broly. And then you have 2 more slots. I'd probably say Cell Max and then maybe Hirudegarn. I'd say that's probably your starting 6 lineup right there on the movie bosses team. You could also do LR Turles. LR Turles would be good as well. So, just depending on like what the fight calls for. If you want Hirudegarn, if you want to gamble on the dodges, or if you want a more consistent support character but could be prone to taking more damage from super attacks, you have Turles. So, you can kind of make your pick there. Going into Calcs, though, this is what we're looking at. So I know there's a lot to take in here, but just bear with me. So we're starting out with his defense stat. We multiply that by 5. multiply that by 1.1 for his links. It's going to be pretty easy to get both Prepared for Battle and Shocking Speed activated, considering the Carnival LR has both of those links. So that's going to be your main 10% links right there. Again, we already said 300% at the start of turn. That's the 40% for 4 turns, plus the 260%. You get 15% from the domain. There's no reason why you shouldn't just activate this guy's domain upon entry. Maybe if you wanted to delay it 1 turn, you could, but I would just say activate his domain as soon as you get in there. So that's going to give you an extra 15% defense. So you take this, multiply by 1.15, and then you just have his super attack effects after that. So 790k after 1 super attack. If you get the 30% proc, then it would be at 908,520. If you got like a 12 key, let's say you got double 100%, then you would be at 1.18. And then if you got a 100% and a 230, or I'm sorry, a 130, then you'd be at 1.3. In theory, you could get double 130s, but I don't think that's going to be very common. So I didn't calc it, but you guys can kind of see the numbers. You would just do A107, so you would take 395,009 and multiply by 3.6 instead of 3.3. That's all you would do. So pretty easy for you guys to figure that out. You know, this is going to be pretty good, coupled with 60% damage reduction. And I didn't mention, but he is guarding. Where is it? He has guard in here. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm so tired, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there it is, guard. So while the domain is up, you guard. So he's going to be pretty good for those first couple of turns. And then after you revive, he loses a lot of his defensive abilities. So this is going to be after you revive. So like he's going to have 1 weak turn where you lose the intro and you lose the domain. And he's just going to have like 260% at the start of turn and 60% damage reduction, which is still pretty good. But, you know, you could be prone to dying there. 320% at the start of turn is what he'll go up to after he revives. Again, that's because you get 260% plus the 60% support from uncontrollable power. He gets 60% when receiving an attack after you revive, and then it's just the same thing. So 100%, 130, 200, 230. So you guys can see right there how it's getting calced out. Obviously, he's going to be way better after he revives because you are getting the extra 60% when receiving an attack. Now, if you're running the double Broly team, by the way, you could, in theory, like have one of them revived and have the domain up with the other one. So, you know, you could get like some combination of both of these things a little bit going on. You would still lose the 40% support from up here, but like you could still combo this with the 60% damage reduction and guard. So like in that scenario, this guy would be absolutely crazy. But again, I think most case scenario, you're only going to have one of this guy's domains on the team. I don't think you would want to run 2 of these guys on the same team. I don't think you'd want to do that. All right, next up we have Gohan. Let's go switch over to him. Again, I'm going to try to keep this brief because, again, I kind of want to go to sleep. Videos are going to be sporadic probably until, yeah, this weekend I should be able to catch up a little bit. But, like, today, Thursday, and then tomorrow, Friday, videos are going to be very sporadic. All out super attack, Super Saiyan Gohan, Kamehameha leader, whatever. So this guy's pretty simple. He's got 200% at the start of turn. Builds up 150% with each attack performed, so you got to do 5 attacks. Or, I'm sorry, builds up 30% up to 150 with each attack performed, so you got to do 5 attacks to build him up. And then that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, in terms of his defense, then he has his super attack effects. So down here, I did go ahead and calc him with All in the Family and Prepared for Battle. Maybe that's a little bit wild because I don't know how common All in the Family is going to be, but there's going to be a few that you can get this guy with, especially since he's on Majin Buu Saga. You could throw this guy in the Majin Buu Saga team, and there's a couple of All in the Family characters on there. So that's going to be good for sure. Oh, and then, by the way, I'm just going to tell you guys, I didn't calc his standby because he's going to be, like, invincible, right? Like, 77% damage reduction, and then he gets 50% defense when receiving an attack per key sphere obtained. This guy's going to be fine. I promise. You're not taking damage whenever you're in the standby. So, the standby's crazy, by the way. You can just do, like, infinite damage. These are the super attack effects. Let's go ahead and take a look at Gohan here. So, 150 defense, 200% leader skill, same thing. 1.25% for the links, and then he's got 200% at the start of turn, gets 150% after doing 5 attacks, and then you just have his super attack effects here. So this is what you got going on with Gohan. He's pretty basic, nothing too crazy going on. Like, Broly's got some, actually both of them honestly are pretty basic. Broly just has the revive, which means you kind of have to do like 2 different versions for Broly. Gohan just is Gohan. Like, he's got the 200%, He builds up to 150%, and then he's got his super attack effects. Like, you know, it kind of is what it is. If you're curious, like, what he would look like after, let's say, 3 attacks, so that would be 90% after 3 attacks. Oop, not 9. Let's say 90% after 3 attacks right here. You would just do times 1.9 instead of 2.5, and you guys can see how that kind of shifts his defense calcs. So this could be potentially after your first turn. This is what he's going to be looking like, so... just figured I'd give you guys that heads up now before people start getting their expectations crazy. But anyway, I don't know how common a triple super attack is going to be. For me, it's not going to be common at all. I would say a double is going to be fairly common for you. So if you're looking at how he's going to do, I'd say double supers are going to be in your future. So anyway, sorry I'm not super energetic this video. I'm very, very tired. Also, shout out to Static here. Wishing me a happy birthday today. Really appreciate it. So, thank you guys for watching this one. Thank you, Static, for the happy birthday. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll catch you guys next time.